Hi, I'm Emma Dixon. I'm a fourth-year PhD student at the University of Maryland.
And I'm Diana Blackwelder, a dementia expert.
And I'm Mary Radnofsky, also a dementia expert living with vascular microangiopathy for over 16 years. Diana and I helped interview, analyze data, and write up our research on the barriers we discovered that keep us from accessing online health information, and we observed how some people with dementia mitigate this problem. You're going to see that our research is different from past studies. It'll help you not just tweak research strategies, access, or cybersecurity issues, but because we included people with dementia on the research team, participants with dementia trusted and confided in us. We discussed their actual intentions and behaviors with them while they were seeking information online in real time. And there are 55 million of us right now in the world that need and deserve better access to that online information. We're not just talking about Twitter, online forums, or dementia-specific websites, though these share valuable experiences and must be optimized. We also saw a wide array of academic, medical, commercial, and personal online resources that people with dementia wanted to consult, but unintended barriers frustrated, deterred, and even prevented them from ever getting that information. When people with dementia can't access health information, there are consequences, psychological as well as material. For example, we end up badly equipped to knowledgeably discuss our own healthcare decisions. We are more likely to lose a job due to our disability, since most of us don't know to ask for appropriate accommodations. So, given the high stakes of failing to provide people with dementia appropriate and equal access to online information, our research aim was to understand the barriers to online health information based on the way platforms are designed, and discover how people with dementia tried to mitigate these barriers, including how they dealt with failure to get the needed information. With our unique research team and approach to studying HCI information behaviors, we've got a rich body of data that can start changing the ways you communicate with 55 million people.
To reach this aim, we took an action research approach. Our team followed a contextual inquiry technique, which included a 40-minute semi-structured interview and a 20-minute observation session with 16 people with mild to moderate dementia. We conducted constructivist grounded theory to develop the findings. We discovered 4 major barriers to online health information, and we observed the participants' attempts to mitigate these barriers. 2 of the most interesting barriers we identified were due to emotionally inaccessible information and information which elicits distrust. Lucy described how, if you just type it to say dementia, you'd come up with loads and loads of negatives. Overly pessimistic information can have serious negative impacts on the mental health of people with dementia. Velma describes existing resources as very depressing. There's nobody giving you any hope. Participants mitigate this barrier by reducing exposure to overly pessimistic information. Donna never goes to a certain dementia advocacy site because they're too negative. Eva, who regularly receives dementia organization newsletters in her email, deletes these emails as soon as she sees them. Some people avoided certain kinds of information. Lila never looked up information on stages of dementia because why add something else on my plate that could potentially make me more anxious? We've identified design opportunities to address emotionally inaccessibility of online health content. Sentiment analysis through linguistic inquiry systems could be used to determine tone rating, which could either prompt the designer to change the text or automatically provide content warnings. Effective computing could identify and rectify emotionally distressing content.
The second barrier we highlight involves information which elicited distrust. Participants described many factors such as ads on web pages, data mining, clickbait, email phishing to sell unproven remedies for dementia, required paid subscriptions, or apparent conflicts of interest in published information from funding agencies, as well as partisan influence on government resources, all factors which elicited distrust. One strategy to combat this distrust by participants was to collaboratively scrutinize the information. Participants utilized support groups on social media to scrutinize information with peers. Velma said if she finds something and thinks she's not sure about it, she seeks people's opinions. She would put it on a dementia advocacy site, so she wasn't the only one doing the research, and it was sort of a shared experience. Together, the group collaboratively decided if the information was trustworthy. As such, people with dementia in our study were acting as cybersecurity guardians, taking it upon themselves to inform each other of dementia-related health scams and exploitation. Instead of relying on caregivers to establish cyber safeguards, the people with dementia in our study described an alternative strategy, expanding the role of people with cognitive changes in identifying online misinformation for each other. In noting this role, we do not wish to minimize the risks of individuals with neurodegenerative conditions at verifying scams, as they can experience impaired judgment. To navigate this tension, one way forward is to follow a shared governance model, where professional moderators combat misinformation with an online community in collaboration with senior peers with dementia and other community members.
Our research has illustrated the agency and determination of people with dementia to work around barriers to online health information. We've also identified participants' mitigation strategies that can inform design of systems to reduce or eliminate barriers to information for neurodiverse populations. Given our unique research team of scientists with dementia experts and our action research methods, we have generated a valuable body of data that can inform HCI researchers to better provide online information for neurodiverse populations independent of proxies. For further details on the barriers to online health information, participants' mitigation strategies, and implications of our work, please see our paper. Thank you.